Well, I've seen this center being born when I was High Commissioner for Refugees, and I was very encouraged to see the center developing its activities with a strong commitment to humanitarian principles, not only in Yemen and Syria, but in so many countries around the world. And I wish to all those that work in the center the best success.
KS Relief we are very, very happy to learn more about it. It's something that I'm sure all of your countrymen are very, very proud of and should be. And it's something that Canada would certainly like to promote and internationally become a bigger part of.
ICRC will cooperate in the future more intensely with the King Salman Center to respond to the health challenge in Yemen, to physical rehabilitation issues, and we have designed a way forward to cooperate together. King Salman Center, who is very supportive for principled humanitarian action, for neutral, impartial and independent humanitarian action in favor of the Yemeni population.
So, as Doctors Without Borders, we are really concerned about the situation of the population in Yemen, and we value the big efforts that the King Salman Foundation is doing in Yemen. We hope that this contribution continues, and we hope that the population in Yemen has access to health and access to all the medical services that they need in this difficult period.
More and more, I think this center is becoming a really important pillar for a number of different countries. It's not just Yemen and Syria, but also in Somalia, in Iraq. I know there are very important contacts that are being made with these other countries where there are also humanitarian problems. There's very good coordination happening between the center and the United Nations, programs with the World Food Program. So I think we're very glad to be a partner with Doctor in this effort and with the center and its team.
This is my first trip to Riyadh, and my first chance to meet KS Relief. So what's good for us is that USAID, we're a very large donor, but it's great to see a new donor being so organized and already operational. It's key because the world faces a number of crises. So with KS Relief as another partner, we'll do a little bit better.
This is a long-standing relationship with a lot of trust and a lot of support. The Kingdom is this year the second largest donor to UNRWA, and we feel really respected and trusted in this relationship. This agreement that we just now signed with the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center is the first of its kind. I'm very grateful to the Supervisor General, Dr. Al-Rabia, for having made this possible as a support to very needed Palestine refugees in Syria with food assistance. And I'm sure that this will allow us to also develop new programs that concern Gaza, that concern health initiatives, but also the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, because there are so many needs there.
We're very impressed, myself and my UK Members of Parliament colleagues, by the work that the King Salman Relief Centre is doing. They're doing fantastic work in Yemen, in Syria, in Iraq, and many other countries, helping people who desperately need aid. And so we're very impressed by the work that you're doing, Chris.
Say a huge thank you for this generosity, not just today, but also the historic generosity of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and to congratulate the King Salman Centre on a very successful discussion and negotiation and now agreements with the United Nations agencies working to help the people of Yemen.
I am extremely impressed. I can't believe that the center that is barely 3 years old can have accomplished so much in such a short time in so many countries with so much amounts of resources. And I congratulate the Saudi government administration, beginning with His Excellency, His Highness the King, who was the brainchild of this center. Even before he was a king, we are told, to have been able to come up with such a brilliant idea and to have forcefully, really and programmatically achieved so much. So we're so happy and we're so impressed and we're so proud to be associated with this center.
I have been hugely impressed by what I've seen, and I think the fact that the centre is still relatively new and is doing such extraordinarily important work in one of the most complex and tragic conflicts in the world is testament to the leadership of the centre and of the skill and talent and drive of the whole team. I think this is a message that really needs to be got out to the rest of the world, because I think it will change perceptions of Saudi Arabia internationally if people get a better understanding of what the centre is doing to help humanitarian crisis internationally and particularly in Yemen.
In only just 1 year of the KS Relief, the King Salman Centre, and it's been equally a pleasure to renew my strong support and partnership with Dr. Rabia and his leadership team, and I really am very impressed by the deep commitment to humanitarian values as well as action on the ground for people who have humanitarian needs through no fault of their own and are caught up in a crisis.
We're very proud to have the opportunity to work for the Centre. We are very grateful for His Majesty supporting such a centre. It's needed in this world that we are dealing with so many issues. So we're very, very pleased to work, and we will work even harder to ensure that we can support the Centre, and that the Centre can also support us in our efforts to deliver humanitarian assistance throughout the world.
I think we have very good relationship, and this generous gift or grant from King Salman Center is a reflection of that relationship that are based on the unrestricted humanity. I would say that we visited Yemen recently, and we saw, and I wanted to assure the King Salman Center that we'll do our best to implement this grant.
In World Food Program, we grew accustomed to the generosity of the kingdom and of His Majesty the King. It's a support and generosity that has come to the fore every time WFP confronted a difficult situation.
Well, thank you so much for hosting us. It is a pleasure to be here and learn a little bit more about your aid and your relief. In terms of the Syrian crisis or the Syrian refugees, it was quite interesting for us to know the different statistics regarding the help that you have done or with allowing to integrate these visitors into your community, and with Yemen as well, and to learn that you maintain some neutrality within these territories.
The center has been able to develop the way it has done, and to see the amount of assistance which is provided to, in particular to Yemen, but there are other projects as well.
In particular, I think the center is very important for the restoration of good standards in Yemen. I think that the humanitarian need in Yemen is enormous, and the centre here is doing great things to try and work with the whole international community to improve the lives of people in that country.
I had the pleasure of working with the King Salman Center even back then when I was in Djibouti. It was a new relationship, and we learned a lot from this first program. Then later we moved into a second major program actually with UNICEF in Yemen, and this had many lessons learned along the way. We partnered in the areas of health, of water and sanitation, of child protection, and essential areas for the well-being of the children of the country.
That allow us not only to respond to the emergency, but at the same time start to address also the root problems that why the epidemic came out. I think that this represents a good example in delivering humanitarian relief, but at the same time think that some of the activities need to be sustained over a longer period of time. And we need the support of the King Salman Relief and all the other international community to have a joint effort to address the humanitarian need in Yemen.